Hi, and welcome to the Changing Perspectives podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics, including grief, parenting, health and wellness, and relationships. Join us and explore a number of changing perspectives. We're your hosts, Jenni, Everett, and Josh Brennan. Hi, Jenni.
Hello.
Everett is here.
He's very excited to be the only dog in here.
He's wiggling his butt, and his tail is whipping against my chair. Hi, buddy. He is the only pit bull in our recording studio today. We do have a couple other ones in the house. Welcome to episode 49, Jenni. We're almost at 50.
Oh, crap.
What do you mean?
I feel like we should do something big for episode 50, which we're probably recording tomorrow.
Probably. Well, I
don't know.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us. We hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. We're coming at you on a Monday.
Stop paying attention to him. It just makes him worse.
It just
Don't
makes
touch
it worse.
Just ignore him.
But this is very apropos because what are we talking about today? I'm very, very thrilled and excited to be discussing with everybody here on Changing Perspectives National Pitbull Awareness Month. That's today's show topic. This was your idea.
It was an accident. And as I suggested it, I wanted to put the words back in my mouth. You ever have those moments where your brain is like, say something, and your mouth opens and the words start coming out and your brain is like, no, I was just kidding.
Yeah,
that was what happened.
I did that 2 years ago when I was on the chain gang at a football game. You can check out our recent sports parenting episode for more information on that. But yeah, I think this was a great topic. I'm excited to just talk about this. And this was very serendipitous or fate. I don't know. It fell out. I grabbed onto it, and I'm very pumped to be talking about this now.
So I'm not.
Why? And I know why, but go ahead. Explain why you're not pumped.
No, you tell me why.
Because you think this is controversial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just about to say, I think maybe 5 years ago, it was more controversial than it is now. I think, Pitbulls they've been getting a bad rap for years and years and years.
It's a bad rap or a bad rep?
It's a bad rap.
Why?
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Isn't it like rep, like reputation?
Bad rap. A rap is like
something you eat.
It's true.
Like
that's W.
Or like
WRAP.
Well, I can't think of a rap that I can rap off the top of my head, but like a M&M.
Yeah, I think it refers to that, like
it's a bad rap battle?
No, not rap battle. A rap and a rap battle aren't the same thing.
I'm going to
Way
Urban
off topic.
Dictionary this.
All right, Urban Dictionary, what do we call those things? Sayings?
Oh, here it says bad rap or bad rep.
Oh, so we're both right.
A bad rap is basically a negative reputation.
But it's rap
means negative allegations, like a rap sheet.
Light bulbs going off all over the place. Okay, right. And the people that are listening to this and already knew all that are like throwing things at their radio.
They've shut the radio off.
Yeah.
People probably shut it off already when they said we were going to be talking about pitbulls. But last week on our lovely community Facebook page, you don't really follow it.
No.
Which is smart because not much good happens on it.
No, there's a lot of trolls.
No, yes.
Local town Facebook page trolls, I think, are the worst kind of trolls.
Perhaps.
Clueless.
No, but
people.
But do you mean trolls like people that actively are trying to stir the pot? Because that's what a troll is.
I think there are those people.
No,
on the town Facebook
this
pages.
Person. So there was a dog attack, not pitbulls. And so someone posted about it. 2 dogs. Apparently, these 2 dogs have gotten out and attacked other people. And of course, the conversation turned to pitbulls because it always does. Neither of these dogs were pitbulls.
It's a good thing I don't follow this.
Neither of them. And then, of course, someone said, why doesn't our town get on board like other towns and start banning this awful breed?
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was just last week.
Oh, my goodness.
See, I didn't tell you about it.
That's a good thing you didn't tell me.
People still
I would have participated.
Think that.
It's ridiculous.
Well, no. So it's not. I don't think it is. Yes, I do think breed specific.
It doesn't make any sense.
Restrictions do not make sense.
No.
That's true.
Right.
The bad rap makes sense to me.
It's perpetuated by media and and I think honestly, as positive, what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The Michael Vick stuff did a lot of things to put, to bring that bad practice about dogfighting, illegal dogfighting to light, right? But at the same time, I think it only perpetuated people's prejudice, for lack of a better term, towards pit bulls. They just all pit bulls must be rescued from fighting rings, so they must be nasty and aggressive and all that. So if you haven't listened, if you're tuning in for the first time, you might not know that we have pit bulls and we have 3 pit bulls, which is usually when people meet us or they come to our house, they're like, "Oh, pit bulls? Oh, you have 3 dogs. Are they all pit bulls?" And we have to say, "Yeah, we are. They're really nice. I know they're barking and jumping on you right now, but they're really nice. Take off your hat and stop looking them in the eye and saying, 'I'm fine.' Yeah.
What, you don't like me?" Anyways, how did that come to be?
What?
That we like are all in with the pit bulls. Because I don't remember. I don't remember having a feeling towards pit bulls one way or the other growing up.
Growing up, no, but I think that I've always been such an animal person. I think that we've talked about this before. I'm pretty anti-zoo.
You're pretty anti-zoo. Yeah. We can't even have a conversation with the word zoo in it, and you freak out.
I am. I guess if I had another career, I would want to be like an animal rights activist or a vet or something, work with animals, run an adoption agency or something. I'm all about the animals. And that's been since I was a little kid.
I'm all about that bass. Sorry.
That's okay. Just don't sing it. We can't pay for that.
Okay.
Growing up, we always had dogs and other animals. And I don't know I think for me, our second rescue, we were always a multi-rescue family from the first time we became a family, pretty much the year before we got married. We had our first apartment, and we went out and get our first little baby jogger. What was our first cat? I think we talked about her in the pet loss episode.
Yeah, that was almost 50 episodes ago.
It was almost 50 episodes ago. But anyway, our second dog we rescued and adopted ever, we think maybe, at least at the time, thought that she had a little pit in her. At least in her, she was all kinds of dogs. She was a mix of everything. I think maybe part hyena. Who knows?
Yeah, she definitely looked like an African dog.
Yeah,
I think you're right. That's where it was.
That's where it started.
We had like a black lab mix, but to back it up a little further, we got married, rented a U-Haul or a Penske, loaded it. Then watched the Super Bowl where Janet Jackson had her famous wardrobe malfunction.
Was that the first Super Bowl win?
I don't remember that. I just remember Janet Jackson. And I remember that the truck broke down. So we had to go get a second truck and then unload the first truck onto the second truck during halftime. So I think, but somehow we still were able to see the wardrobe malfunction. I don't know how that happened.
I don't remember.
We did. It was, we were very quick loading it onto the other. Anyways, we drove out to Colorado, and probably the day after we arrived, we were like, let's get a dog. And we went to the dog shelter, and it was a huge dog shelter, the Denver Dumb Friends League. Yeah. And I think we picked out like 7 dogs. You kind of walk around and you have a notepad and you're like, I like number 7 and number 23. And then you bring it back to the front and they're like, oh, they've just been adopted or they're meeting other families. So I don't remember shying away from any pit bulls. And in fact, I think the dog that we really liked,
Thena.
I thought it was Xena.
Oh, Xena.
Right.
Xena.
I think she probably was a pit.
I think she was too.
Yeah.
She was beautiful.
But then, Then we met Sandy. Sandy came in and gave us a hug. And anyone who ever met Sandy knows that she gave hugs
The
until
best
like
hugs.
her very last day.
Yeah.
And so she gave us a hug, and we said,
She's a
"Oh, well,
sweetheart.
this is
This
the
is
one
our
we're
dog.
getting."
Yeah.
But then when we got Luna, we adopted her as a puppy from a place that went around to all the local states in Colorado, near Colorado, and rescued puppies from kill shelters. We didn't really know what she was. And as she got older and we started to suspect that she was a pit, and we realized how much Luna was like an awesome dog, I think that's probably when we started to do research on the breed and kind of fell in love with the breed.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I think that's definitely where it started. And I think that, dog people that are really, pro animal and animal lovers tend to have these different phases of their lives. I know like my, some of the folks in my family have had periods of time with multiple dogs. I think that's where, I get that drive from is my uncle. Like my uncle, I grew up, he had,
Rotties, right?
Dobermans first
Oh.
for a long time. Beautiful Dobies. And then he sort of transitioned to Rottweilers. And then I think
What was that word?
Rottweilers.
Oh, okay.
And then he had, you're going to make fun of my speech.
Uh-huh.
And then I think Bull Mastiffs. But, he has phases where like if you fall in love with a specific dog and you
It's
love
all
their
in.
temperament,
Yeah.
it's like, well, let's get another one
So
of these.
maybe it's in your blood
Yeah. But
a little bit.
we have an affinity for pit bulls, and Everett was our first pit bull.
We didn't seek him out. We weren't seeking out a pit bull.
No,
It was
I think that here's the thing. So we really, and I've got, I pulled up the Facebook pages of the 2 adoption agencies that we've gone through, and I want to shout them out and
nice.
invite people to go check them
Okay.
out. But I think that right now there's a lot of pit bulls still available. There's a lot of pit bulls available for adoption.
Sure.
And when you go and you seek out to adopt a dog, a lot of the options available are pit bulls.
Right.
And so that we just naturally met a few and went to a few adoption events.
That's right, we did.
And
Again, Everett was not our first choice.
he wasn't our first choice.
None of our dogs were our first choice. I guess
Lola was.
Lola, she was someone's first choice. Lola and Norma Jean aside, so our 2 most recent dogs aside.
Yeah.
Sandy was not our first choice. Luna was our only choice because it was back when there was no cell phones. We got off a plane at Denver International Airport. On our way home, we decided we were going to adopt
Shout out
a
to
dog.
Tracy and Ben.
Right. We were at our friend
Yeah.
Tracy and Ben's wedding, and decided we need a second dog. And so we couldn't wait. And we looked at a phone book at the airport after we got off the plane because before smartphones. And we found this dog rescue. I don't remember what that place was called.
No Google, no cell
there
phones.
was no Google. There was no cell phone. It wasn't
no,
that long ago.
No ratings. Like we couldn't figure out if they were rated
Just
really well.
the yellow pages.
Yeah,
And
literally the paper yellow pages at DIA.
And then we drove out there, and there was 2 dogs left because it was a Sunday, so it was the end of the weekend. And they adopt out every weekend.
Well, they go during the week. I don't know if you said this, but they go during the week and rescue up all the dogs from the kill shelters, all in the Four Corner State area. Right. And then on the weekend, they have this adoption event.
On Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
So the end of the day on Sunday, there was Luna and one other dog, and a family was with the other dog. So it was just Luna. So I guess fate picked her for us. So we didn't pick her, and then, or she wasn't our first choice. She was just our only choice. And then Everett, we went to an adoption event, and we inquired about a lot of dogs that we saw online.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember.
He wasn't at that event.
He wasn't. No, there was a dog like him.
Yeah.
And then I think because we liked that dog like him, and so then when we saw his picture the day after, he caught our eye. So it wasn't our first choice, but I will say that we met him and had him meet Luna because Sandy had died at that point. Had him meet Luna, and they were good together. Had him meet the boys.
Yep.
Then we drove all the way home, and so we could think about it because I never wanted to say
right
yes.
away.
We knew right away. And then the next day, drove back out to get him. I was scared of him because he was a pit bull, and so that was like the first oh my gosh, this is a real pit bull, and now he's in our house and we have kids, and so How long ago did we get him?
But your fear was totally perpetuated by the media. Like, you had no actual evidence or no real reason to say that this dog was going to be.
But I do think that when you have a pit bull, any dog, I think you have a responsibility. When you are a dog owner, you have a responsibility to be an ambassador for dogs. And the thing that scares me is that there are people that are not dog savvy. There are children that are not dog savvy. There are adults who are not dog savvy, who raise children who are not dog savvy and think it's fine for kids to like run over and stick their face in a dog's face. And so that worried me that, okay, now we have this dog who, you know, not only do all the typical responsibilities come with this dog, but now people are going to kind of judge this dog and us more harshly, perhaps solely because he's a pit bull mix.
Well, and the thing is, I think,
and we had to find a homeowner's insurance. We had to switch homeowners insurance policies because our homeowners wouldn't cover a pit bull.
That's just so silly. This breed specific legislation,
yes, but I do
or
love our new
regulations.
Homeowners insurance policy.
Well, for sure, but all that stuff, that breed specific stuff, is just, in my opinion, ridiculous. But I think the vast majority, I shouldn't say that, I have no evidence to support that, but I would say a good chunk of, I bet, it would be my guess, that a lot of those news stories that you hear all the time about attacks or bites or anything are because of those non-dog savvy people.
But I would say that there are some dogs that are also, what? You're looking at me.
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead, finish your thought.
I don't want to say that.
Because you're afraid to say it.
I'm not afraid to say it. I believe this.
Go ahead.
What?
What were you going to say?
I don't know what I was going to say because you gave me that nasty look, and now I don't know what to do.
Well, no, I mean I'm
also fighting with our teenager over text right now.
Oh, that's fine. But the thing is, I think you're afraid to say that pit bulls are inherently sweet and good, and not like you're afraid to have that stance.
No, I think they are. And you know, the history, I think I haven't fact checked this. They're nanny dogs. I will say that all three of our dogs are very sweet. They're very, I think, emotionally intelligent and
protective of our boys.
Protective of our boys, protective of us.
Yeah.
But also can do damage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if anyone were ever to like break into our house and do something, well, I don't know, Everett might sleep through it.
Yeah.
But they could actually, yesterday, you weren't here. And Everett, we don't let Everett play with rope toys because he shreds them. Everett ruins all the toys.
Yes,
so
he does.
He can only have non-destructible toys.
Mm-hmm.
The two girls are, because they're pitbulls. And so they're strong chewers. They've got these strong jaws.
Yes.
He will destroy things. The two girls are much more kind of dainty and they can have toys. So anyways, I accidentally left the rope toy out. He saw it and was like, oh my God, the rope toy. And was going crazy with it. Lola was in the room with him. It was me and Jacob. And Lola was like, that looks like so much fun. And Jacob tried to get the rope toy away from Everett. And Everett was being crazy and jumping. And he was excited. But it freaked Lola out. And for a moment, I think Lola thought Jacob was trying to attack. No, Everett was trying to attack Jacob, our almost 11-year-old. And so that's where, like, being a pit bull owner, I think, means even more responsibility. Because
I agree with that.
I'm rambling because we're recording on a Sunday night here.
It's
am
fine.
I making clear?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. But I do think that a lot of the stuff that's reported in the news about bites and stuff is not the dog's faults. I really do. I really do believe that.
Yes.
They're put in tough situations by non-dog savvy people, or owners are making a bad choice or a bad, just a mistake about whatever.
I worry, you don't see us walking our dogs around the neighborhood. We keep them in our backyard, which is fenced.
They get plenty of exercise.
They get we exercise them in our backyard, but we don't take them to the park. We don't walk them in our neighborhood because of non-dog savvy people.
Exactly.
Because there are people in our neighborhood who let their dogs off leash and who let their children off leash too, and who will run over. Like, I would love to bring.
Did you say let their children off leash?
I would love to bring our two girls, not together because they don't really like each other.
They're getting better.
They're getting better. I would love to bring them to like football practice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But do you know why I don't?
Because of other people.
Yes, because of other people. Because other people would like let their dog off leash, or their kids would come over and like, stick their face in our face. And also people would be like,
are those Pitbulls?
Yeah. To get away, that's a Pitbull. And so that's not, I feel like none of that is fair to my dogs, because then it makes me nervous, and they pick up on my nervous energy. So that makes them more nervous, and it puts them in a bad position if we're out walking and a dog off leash comes running at them and they are on leash. That's that they're going to be defensive and protective of me. Right. And that's not fair to them.
Socialization is super important, but you have to be smart about it. And I would love to, definitely take them out more than we do. But again, you have to be smart about it. I think that like trips to the vet are good for all three of them. They get to see more people. They get to see more dogs. Yeah. And we have a pretty good, pet healthcare program that we pay for. So it's like a budget program. So it's really, it doesn't, you've got no excuses to go to the vet because it's like covered in our monthly payment program. So I think it's important to maximize those moments where you get to socialize them a little bit. And it's good that we have a multi-dog house, because we know that our dogs are like other dogs, and Everett and Norma Jean are besties. Lola and Everett like each other. And Everett,
I think Everett really likes Lola, and I think Lola kind of tolerates Everett.
Yeah, he can get a little annoying to her.
Yeah.
And Lola and Norma Jean are getting better. They had a rough start, and they don't get along well.
That was really our fault, I think, because we were worried about when you introduce a new dog to a household, you've got to be really thoughtful about it and deliberate. Yeah. And we were worried about introducing Lola, who's our newest dog, to the household from a perspective of us, because she was supposedly skittish around men, and the kids and the cats and Everett. And we thought Norma Jean would be fine. Like we thought that Everett was the alpha, and what we've realized is that Norma Jean is the alpha. And so we basically were like, here you go, meet each other.
Well, I think that I wanted to take a moment and just sort of talk about how we became a 3-dog family.
Okay.
We became a 2-dog family very early on, like we talked about in Colorado.
And then realized we will always be.
Yes.
We will never have just one dog, because they bonded with each other. They played with each other. It just, I don't know. It just felt right.
Well, we talked about this in the Pet Loss episode. But when Sandy died, Luna was very sad and
she was heartbroken.
Yeah. And we needed a new
and grieved. Yeah.
Another dog, and so that's where Everett came into the picture, and pretty much solidified our love for the breed.
Yes, but Luna was like, I think I would have been okay. With one dog. I think I would have been okay, but I think that added years onto Luna's
absolutely
life.
Added years to her life, and then we might as well shout them out now. So we got Everett through Last Hope Canine Rescue. And you can visit them on Facebook at facebook.com/lasthopek9. Large organization here in the Northeast, lasthopecanine.org. Really great organization. And we got Everett through them. And we fell in love with his adoptive mom, foster mom, I should say.
And I'm his adoptive mom.
Yeah, you're his adoptive mom. And she seems to really like us and liked our boys and loved Everett. And she basically recommended that we adopt a 3rd dog, Norma Jean, who was a special case, pretty much afraid of the world, a small little like teacup version of Everett, a red-nosed pitty. She's like a pocket pit bull. I call her my peanut. So she's a peanut pit bull, but pretty much the same color as Everett, a little lighter shade of the red pitty. But we became a 3-dog family really quickly with Luna, our elderly dog, and then Everett, a young male pit bull, and this skittish little afraid of the world sweetheart, Norma Jean. who we don't really change a lot of names of the adopted pets. We pretty much never have. I don't
We
think.
tried to with Jogger, didn't work. We tried to with Sandy, didn't work. Luna we named ourselves because she came from Los Lunas, New Mexico. Everett came with the name Everett.
Everett, yeah.
And he knew his name.
Yeah.
We didn't even try to change it.
We didn't even
gave
try
a
to-
middle name, which we use routinely.
We never tried with Norma Jean either. And Norma Jean came from a 3-dog family.
We never changed it, but there are people in our lives that call her Norma, and that is not her name.
That's not her name.
Yes.
If you're listening to this, don't call her Norma.
It's Norma Jean or NJ.
Or NJ.
Not Norma.
Yeah. So, real quick, her mother was Marilyn Monroe.
Right. Yeah.
Her brother's Joe DiMaggio,
Yeah.
and she was Norma Jean. So, clearly
DiMaggio is still DiMaggio,
DiMaggio,
and Marilyn Monroe became Maddie.
Maddie,
Yeah,
which is close.
perfect,
Yeah. Oh, she's great.
Yeah.
And she's pretty much Norma Jean's doppelganger. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that we became a 3-dog family. And again, I think once you become that number family dog or dog family, I don't think you.
Yeah, because when we added Norma Jean into the mix, it was actually helpful for Luna because Luna was a very senior dog at that time, and Everett had rejuvenated her, but there were still moments where Luna would be like, I'm a really old lady, I don't feel like playing. And so Everett had Norma Jean to play with, and so it was a nice little 3 was a nice number.
But as also though, Norma Jean fell in love with Luna.
Oh my god, she adored Luna.
She
was her favorite thing ever.
I don't big sister or a mother type
Yeah.
figure to her. I mean, just absolutely fell in love with Luna.
Well,
Which
I
is why
cry.
we thought that she would pretty much imprint on Lola, just like she did with Luna.
like a kind of lazy female dog.
Yeah.
We thought would be a good fit.
Yeah, and that's
Nope,
exactly what
turns
Lola
out
is. But
Norma Jean's confidence has skyrocketed since we initially got her.
I think there was a
she-
little bit of fear there too. We had a
Yeah.
dog trainer tell us about.
Well, it was the way we introduced them. So
Yeah.
Lola and Norma Jean are very, very similar, I think, in terms of their history and their sort of makeup.
Right.
Everett's like, you're saying my name. What's going
Everett's like, please talk about me. Stop talking about the girls.
on?
Hi, buddy.
I lost my train of thought. They're very similar, and so
Yeah,
we just
they
as I was saying, and then you stopped and took us back. When we introduced them, we were not thoughtful
now we're
about.
back.
We were not thoughtful about Norma Jean and Lola's
Right.
meeting because we thought that was the meeting we were the least concerned about, and that was totally our mistake. And so, because they both have this sort of fearful past, they both became scared of each other.
Yeah.
And so they both reacted to each other. And so now that's kind of where they are.
But they've gotten better, and they've made lots of strides.
So much better.
Yeah.
So we are now, like, we keep them separated. So we are a crate and rotate. I was just telling someone this the other day because they are in a situation like that. They're like, it's so crazy. Like, we have 3 pets and 2 of them can't be together. So we have to kind of figure things out. I know it sounds super crazy. And I was like, no, I get it. We are a crate, rotate family. Like, and the 4 of us have it, and even the dogs. We've all got it. So the 7 of us have it under it's a science.
Yeah.
You know, if we move the gate one way, Everett can be with either girl. It's just a system. Can't even explain it to anybody. But when we travel, our dog sitter, who is fabulous, knows that system because it's not easy. It's a lot of work. But we early on, after we adopted Lola as a family, had a family meeting and said, this is not going to be as easy as we thought it was going to be because Lola and Norma Jean are scared of each other.
Right.
And so we need to think about whether or not to rehome Lola. And
that was not an option.
it was not an option for any of us. The
Nope.
boys unequivocally both were like, no, we're keeping her. It doesn't matter. And I don't think
Because
any
we all
of us
fell in love
regret
with her
that.
pretty quickly.
Mhm. And didn't, we made a commitment. And
Mhm.
so it's crazy, but it's better. And the 2 of them will nose each other through the gate and wag their tails.
Yeah. They're getting so
they-
much better.
They can sit and do treats together.
Mhm.
It's just that times of transition are still stressful
Yeah,
for them,
and that's
we
the
have
only-
work to do.
yeah.
Like we as pet owners, I would give us probably a B-.
A B-.
Yeah, we don't work on the training.
I would say
like
that.
like we should.
Yeah, it's just it's tough to have a lot of time for that.
In terms of, we're okay with the status quo. I think we all could be this way forever, but it would really be nicer to take it all to the next level, and that's on
have them all together.
That's on us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've already been on the air for 30 minutes. I think we should take a quick break.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. We will talk more pit bulls after the break. We will be right back.
Are you looking to level up in life with your health, mindset, and personal mission statement? Are you a coach of a sports team or leader of an organization looking to build critical leadership skills for your team? If so, then look no further than GetBurly.com. The Get Burly brand offers life coaching, personal fitness programming, and team building retreats, clinics, and seminars, all designed to empower individuals and teams to become the best versions of themselves. The Get Burly Team Building and Leadership Development Division works specifically with athletic teams, corporate groups, and educational institutions. Through their signature seminars, workshops, and/or retreats, Get Burly will have your team firing on all cylinders and working as an inspired, cohesive unit, committed to the mission and vision of your program or organization. Get Burly will build the inner strength necessary for you and your team to gain clarity around your mission, input strategies to enhance mindfulness, amplify personal accountability and ownership, and much, much more. Do yourself and your team a favor and visit GetBurly.com. Get Burly. Be the best version of you.
All right, everybody. We are back talking about Pitbulls, National Pitbull Awareness Month. Here in October, we were just rambling on about our pitties.
Yeah, sorry.
We're a 3 pit bull family. We absolutely love the breed. We consider ourselves to be advocates, and that's what this awareness month is all about, which I'm going to talk about here in a minute. But I want to talk about Lola for a second because
she's your favorite and she's your profile picture.
Okay,
and
listen.
She's your screensaver on your phone, and I think if you could marry a dog, you would.
No, it's not about that. She's like
Okay.
my child.
Well,
Mary,
you're not supposed to
what are you
have
talking
favorite
about?
children, but
I think it's allowed when they have fur. Close your ears, Everett.
I don't have a favorite pet.
Okay.
I don't, right? Like you pause for a minute because you were going to poke holes in that, but then you thought,
I don't think you do.
You thought, no, she really doesn't.
No.
I don't have a favorite
And
pet.
oh my God, Everett's my buddy. Norma Jean's my peanut. I have such a special relationship with each of them, but there's just something about Lola, and I
that happened the very first.
Yeah,
time
I want to talk about that. I saw her. I follow on Instagram this rescue organization called Patra's Pity Project. You can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/Patra's Pity Project. Really great small rescue organization, foster home based. Both Last Hope Canine and Patra's are foster home based adoption programs. And, they have mostly pit bulls. That's who they work with, but they have other dogs as well, other breeds, I should say. And I came across on Instagram a picture of Lola.
Well, to back up, because that's what we do. You and I just interrupt each other.
Go ahead.
We had decided when Luna died and we decided we needed
Eventually
to still be a 3-dog
Yep.
family, that eventually it would be a pit bull. And we thought a female pit bull.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so I think you started following more and more. You actually you have a pit bull specific Instagram page.
I do.
Yes.
I can shout that
our
out.
dogs do.
Yeah.
And then you started
I'll put
following.
that in the show notes.
I think actually maybe they started following you and then you followed that. I don't know, whatever. And so then you started sharing pictures of particular dogs with me.
Yeah.
And I was all like, no.
And there was just something about Lola.
Then I saw a picture of Lola and I said, okay, let's meet her.
They initially, I think, when she was rescued, she had a different name.
Yeah,
Chrissy.
let's not say what it is.
Oh.
Because her previous she had former owners.
Oh. But
they
she
might
was.
listen. What?
But they put her up for adoption.
I know.
It's okay.
But I don't want them to come take her back from us.
Oh. Okay.
They don't know where she is. Maybe. I don't
Don't
know.
we take that out?
It just got weird. No, leave it in. This is real.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
We didn't change her name, but the
no,
poster
Patra's
changed her name.
Pity Project changed her name to Lola, and she is the short. We'll put pictures on our socials, changing perspectives of our pups.
Just look for Josh. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all Lola.
Well, you can find me. I guess you can find me on Instagram, but you can find me at Dizzy Bird Studios. But I'll share all that stuff. Anyway, Lola is the short, stocky, gray pit bull who is our biggest pit bull.
Well, she's a blue nose pitty, so she's so dark gray that she's blue sometimes.
And that's the thing about the
so she
pits.
blends
They
into
have
our
cool
blue
colors.
couch sometimes.
Yeah. So she is someone or a dog that.
Sorry, I'm looking at pictures from today's football game. There's a great picture of Jackson running the ball.
Awesome. We'll have to look at that.
Sorry, clearly I'm multitasking.
Big win today for the team. Anyway, so Lola just caught my eye, and she was she had a lot of health issues, and so there was actually a delay in us being able to get her because they were trying to finish up some treatment. She had some ear infections, and it turns out just because of her, her size, she's a bigger pit bull. She's short, stocky. And pit bulls are. Yeah, she's doing just fine.
I know she's lost a lot of weight with us.
She was
like healthy weight, like not
clearly, wasn't on the best diet prior to being rescued, but she had some health problems, chronic health issues that we still deal with, but she's doing really well. And so there was a delay in getting her. But anyway, she came out to the house and we met her. We're almost at her gotcha day, actually. That's an easy thing to remember because it's my birthday. And so she came out and she had two representatives, her foster mom and someone else from Patra's, who came out to the house. And we spent a lot of time in the backyard with her, which was really great. And she was a little skittish, but she was really sweet, sniffing us. And anyway, what I wanted to talk about was it was time to bring her in the house, and they weren't really. She wasn't really good with guys. Guys were she was a little skittish around men, and it was time to bring her in the house, and she wasn't.
No, we were in the front yard, and it was time to bring her in the backyard.
No, we were in the backyard, going into the house.
Oh, okay.
So Jenni and the two women from Patra's were standing in the yard, and we said, okay, it's time to go in the house. And she wasn't on the leash. And I started walking towards the house. I said, okay, come on, Lola. And she just went with me.
Yeah. And then we were like,
I was always her daddy.
I think the three of us started crying then, because it was just like, you were right.
Talk into the mic.
Sorry, my foot is itchy. It was this magical moment where like the three of us were like, oh, she's his dog. Like, she just, she doesn't like men, but she's just fought like she's his dog. She was like, all right, I live here now.
Yeah.
I'm yours.
I have just met you and I love you.
That's really what it was like. And I was like, crap. we're adopting a dog right now. Yeah. This is happening. Mm-hmm. And then did she just stay with us? Then they that was
the first,
all right, okay.
first day. Yeah.
Here's her food and all of her medicine. And
but anyway.
Yeah.
So that was our pit bull adoption story. We have 3 pitties now: Lola, Norma Jean, and Everett, and we are head over heels in love with the breed and our 3 pits. There's definitely a time in the future where I wouldn't be surprised if we switch to a different breed at some point, or
actually
adopt a different.
I want a little dog now.
That's funny because I want a Great Dane. That's not even funny for the radio. That's just real. In fact, I saw a Great Dane on Patra's Facebook page recently.
I don't want to talk about
adoption.
it because we're not becoming a 4-dog
family. No.
Because we'll have to be a kennel.
Yeah, like an official licensed kennel
so
through the town.
It means that we're talking.
Anyway,
about not having one of our dogs.
Again,
sad.
Facebook.com/Patra's Pity Project. And Facebook.com/LastHopeK9 to check out those rescue agencies that we have gone through that we recommend highly. So let's switch gears here a little bit and talk about Pitbull Awareness Month. And I've got a few different links to share with you guys today. This first one is, I don't know if they're connected to Huffington Post, but this is awesome. It's doggingtonpost.com. That's the website.
Oh.
And they have an article about National October or Pitbull Awareness Month, which is in October. There's actually a day. I don't know what day it is, but maybe I'll learn that here. But I'm just going to read a little bit from this article. It says, National Pitbull Awareness Day was established in 2007 as a nationwide effort to bring positive awareness and attention to the pit bulls and their responsible owners. It says here, and you had alluded to this a little earlier, Jenny, pit bulls were once a proud American icon. There are war heroes, movie stars, police dogs, therapy and service dogs. They are amazingly loyal companions, but over time, the actions of a few that have taken the qualities like loyalty, strength, and eagerness to please their family that make these dogs such amazing companions and use them in a negative way has caused the entire breed to be criticized. And I guess that was the point I was making before about, the whole Michael Vick story. But you should check out as well nationalpitbullawarenessday.org. There's a bunch of different great nonprofit rescue, education awareness agencies that support Pitbull Awareness Day, National Pitbull Awareness Month, that try to bring awareness to the negative connotations and the fact that these dogs are very amazing, positive, sweet dogs that have gotten a bad rap, but also, most pit bulls aren't acting. There's no like pure breed pit bull. In fact, pit bull itself is not actually a breed. It basically describes a sort of category of dogs. But most, pit bulls you see on a daily basis are mutts. They're mixed breed dogs that have, heavy pit bull look or, you easily tell that they're pit bulls, like the blocky head, sort of shorter snout, sort of a big chest. But for the most part, there's no like pit bull breed, so to speak. There's no like purebred pit bull. Given that fact, I think it's easy to have a lot of them, right? When you have dogs that aren't spayed or neutered, you have a lot of little baby dogs. And I think that's why there's so many pit bull type dogs up for adoption. So please consider.
Well, I also think people
adopting a pit bull.
Dump them.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I think people adopt them and then realize that dogs in general. I think people adopt dogs in general, especially as we're heading into the holidays. Don't buy a dog for someone as a gift.
Yes, don't do that.
We got Lola on your birthday.
But that wasn't a gift for me.
No,
that just happened to be the day.
I think a lot of people do that. Like they buy puppies and kittens as gifts for someone else, and then the person realizes that this is a heck of a lot of work, and then they dump. I just heard this a few weeks ago. I heard locally of someone who didn't want to bring their dog back to a shelter and tried to leave it somewhere, and fortunately another person convinced them not to. But that's not that uncommon. And so I think that dogs in general get dumped. And if like a cute golden retriever or a pug, or I can't think of any other kind of dogs right now off the top of my head,
a labradoodle
gets dumped and you see it on the side of the road, people are more likely to be like, oh, look at that poor Labrador retriever.
Yeah.
That poor like chocolate lab. It needs a home. Let me catch it and it's mine now. They're not going to do that to a pit bull.
No.
So I think that might be also part of the reason why pitties are so often kind of showing up in shelters. And when people walk through a shelter, they're more likely to gravitate towards a lab or some other kind of dog instead of a pitty, which is part of the reason that, you and I have said we feel really confident with the breed and with the right dog.
Yes.
And so we feel kind of like right now it's partly our job to be breed ambassadors.
Yes.
And, kind of rescue them.
This article is great. It goes on to say, it's no secret that pit bulls and pit mixes are at the very core of breed-specific legislation, discrimination, and negative bias among the nation's media and government. Despite continued efforts by supporters, much of the general public is overwhelmingly misinformed about the breed, which is the whole point of National Pitbull Awareness Month. In fact, there's a YouTube video linked in the article that is Pitbulls myths versus facts. There are, that some of these myths are they're inherently dangerous. They have locking jaws. They don't feel pain, and none of these things are actually true.
Everett feels pain.
Everett definitely does feel pain.
Norma Jean has a very high pain threshold.
She does,
though,
but she feels pain because she
feels
has
pain.
a chronic. She has arthritis.
Yeah, we didn't realize that. Actually she lives with it's not called arthritis. It's basically kind of like a juvenile arthritis in her knees, and so she could have surgery to clean it out, but then would need surgery every 3 years or so, and she'd have to be on 8 weeks of rest after every surgery. And she's a very active dog, she is on anti-inflammatory medication daily.
Chronically,
and we have to check her lab levels just to make sure her liver's okay. But so far it is. But so she gets kind of grumpy. That's how her pain. But she's got a really high pain threshold. But they do all feel pain.
The article does go on to quote the founder of National Pitbull Awareness Day. And I'd like to read that quote if that's okay with you, Jenny.
Yes.
It says, while we can't all be on television educating about our dogs, we all can make a difference in our own way. We all can and should play a part in correcting false information and changing the perception of these incredible dogs. We are their voice, and they are depending on us to educate the public, not only about the breed in general, but with respect to responsible ownership practices. To dispel the false information out there and to restore their reputation as a great American icon, leading by example is a great place to start. So that was the founder of National Pitbull Awareness Day, quoted in this article in the doggingtonpost.com, which is awesome. I do have another article to share with everybody, and this is the dogster.com, which talks about why National Pitbull Awareness Month matters. And it's super important, like we've been talking about, to change the perception out there about these dogs. There's so many of these dogs available. It says the pit bull is more than a dog; he's a symbol. Again, he talks about the history of the dog and the breed. But goes on to say, today the pit bull is the most abused, exploited, and misunderstood dog in the world. Because he's misunderstood, he's also feared and loathed. Many people's first reaction when they see a pit bull is to give him a wide berth, and that's still true.
Yeah.
The pit's reversal of fortune could befall any dog, and if you look at the history of the German Shepherd and the Doberman, it already did. So I was actually going to say that. I know previously in like the 70s and 80s, the pit bull, so to speak, quote unquote, of the 70s and 80s were German Shepherds, Dobermans, Rottweilers.
Yeah.
They were the dogs that had the bad rap. Again, this is a great article as well. That's on the dogster.com, National Pitbull Awareness Month and why it matters. But I wanted to switch gears. I found another great article that I wanted to share, and you and I can talk about this. We'll finish up the episode by talking about this. And the title of this article is 5 Reasons Why Pit Bulls Make Great Pets. And I think that's, I agree with a lot of these. So let's talk about it. I like
that you did your research.
Oh, thanks.
This is a good partnership. I'm sitting here looking at pictures.
Yeah. So this is the Quivira Road Animal Clinic. I don't know where they are, but they have a website, quiviraroadac.com, and they put out this article. So let's see what they say. And now listen, I actually didn't read the first opening paragraph.
Okay.
I promise you. But the first sentence says,
is one of the reasons because they have very sharp tails that are whip-like and can play guitars when they're happy.
Everett. You know what I learned? That
they have wiggle butts?
I just learned that guitar is way out of tune.
Oh, okay.
I have to tune that guitar. The first sentence here in this article is, quote, pit bulls get a bad rap. All right, so, hey, Jacob.
Jake, did you just hear the guitar that's out of tune as well?
Yeah, was that an accident?
Yeah, it was Everett's tail. Yeah.
Associate producer and pitbull lover Jacob.
Do you want to come in and hear the 5 best things about pitbulls?
Coming in, buddy.
Everett, you have to stay.
Everett, you stay in here.
Okay. All right, we're
finishing up the episode, Jacob. We're talking about National Pitbull Awareness Month, and you're a pitbull lover, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Everett was just jumping on him like, they're talking about me.
The pitbull in this
Everett,
picture,
Norgine.
it does look like it's a red-nosed pitty.
Oh.
Looks like Everett.
And Norgine.
So this article, Jacob, is called 5 Reasons Why Pit Bulls make great pets. And the first point is Pit Bulls are great family pets because Pit Bulls love Pit Bulls love humans so much they make a great choice for families. Do you agree with that?
That's true. And actually, Lola loves kids.
She does.
She like lights up. So when she met our boys, she not only did she have the moment with you where she was like, "All right, I'll follow you in the house." Yeah,
You're my
mine.
dad now. Yeah.
Then she saw the boys and she was like, "Oh, little humans!
Yeah.
I love little humans." And then anytime she still questions adults and I guess teenagers now. But anytime kids come over, she loves them. So our one of our nieces just loves to snuggle with her because Lola loves it. So yeah, they are good family pets.
It says, not long ago, some places used pit bulls as nannies, like you had said,
Yeah, nanny dog.
because they were so good with kids, and that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Jacob just coming in here made Everett lose his mind. He was so excited to see you, Jacob. Right? I don't know if I agree with this one so much, but I guess it's true for Everett. It says pit bulls are healthy. Of all the breeds of dogs, pit bulls are generally healthy pets. Most pit bulls don't have weight issues. And it says that pit bulls aren't prone to disease, and their short coat means you don't have to groom them as much.
I mean that is true. They're not like
they don't shed at all,
and they're not prone to like a really short lifespan because of like their stature or anything like that. Now Lola is very clearly also part bulldog.
She has some bulldog in her. I think that's what she gets her height from.
Yeah, and Everett also has a significant amount of boxer in him. Norma Jean, maybe Chihuahua. I don't know, something little. So none of them are, I guess, kind of your stereotypical a bulldog. Like if you were going to put a picture, of a pit bull, I don't think you would picture.
No, they are.
I don't know.
Yeah, they all have the blocky heads.
They also have.
Well, I made that point earlier that there's no real purebred pit bull, right? But I think to this article's point, I think what you're trying to say is our dogs have other things in them,
yes,
and that affects their health. Like we talked about Norma Jean's knee issues or arthritis type diagnosis, and Lola, she is her type of pit bull.
Is fat.
She's a little chunky, but she's doing good with her weight. But she's prone to yeast infections on her skin. She's also prone to ear infections because her ear canals are smaller.
Because of that bulldog.
And she's prone to skin allergy issues.
Okay, so that part maybe isn't so true for every dog.
Yeah,
I don't know that
but
I
for the
put that
most
on
part,
list,
they're great. They're in great shape, I think they're easy to treat. Knock on wood. When they have issues, but I think that's fair to say. Number 3 is pit bulls like to please. People assume pit bulls are a dangerous breed because they are associated with fighting and law enforcement. Pit bulls make great dog cops because they are loyal to humans, not because they are aggressive.
Yeah, that's true.
And I 100% agree with that. They love to please. Easy to train, actually.
Well, I think they're very, very smart.
Yes.
They're highly intelligent.
Yes. I would agree with that. And just Everett, he just wants us to love him, and he wants to please us and
just make us
be
happy.
with us, show us things, make us happy. Yeah.
And rip up all the toys.
Rip up all the toys.
Yes.
All right. Number 4 is pit bulls. This is probably what I agree with the most. Pit bulls like snuggle time.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
While many dogs view hugging as an aggressive sign of dominance, pit bulls love to be held by humans. I have a story about Lola in a second, but do you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
There's like 18 stories about Lola.
Yeah.
Not Norma Jean. Norma Jean's.
No.
So Norma Jean only Norma Jean snuggles with you.
Yes.
At night in bed. And you. Yeah. She doesn't really snuggle she'll snuggle with me. The dogs don't sleep in the bed with us anymore, but when we go to bed, we allow them to sort of be.
They hang out with us for a while before we put them to bed in their crates. Right.
But Norma Jean will hang out with you. I think Lola's crying right now, actually, in her crate.
We're almost done.
She is missing out on the party. So Norma Jean will snuggle with you, and if I'm laying down in the bed, she'll like curl up on my knees. But she's not like a snuggler like Everett and Lola are. They both think that they are lap dogs.
They really do. But I really enjoy snuggling with my peanut, Normagine, at night.
I feel like a trainer recently said that dog sitting in your lap is actually a sign of dominance and not them snuggling.
I disagree.
But that was said to us.
That
right?
was said to us.
I don't think that's what's going on with
I
Everett
really
and
don't.
Lola. I
No.
think that they both really just
like to snuggle.
And because if we're laying, they like to lay on blankets. They like to like lay on each other. They just like to snuggle. So
But,
they're snugglers.
So it's fall here in New England, and we've got days where it's kind of hot, and I actually got a sunburn yesterday on a golf course. I participated in a golf tournament for charity, and I got sunburned. But in the morning, I was all wrapped up in a thermal shirt for football. That's just what we're dealing with. And so in the overnight, it tends to get a little chilly. And Lola is sort of by a window, and I think we had the heat turned down because
I don't put it on until
hot.
November.
Yeah, right.
So we've got.
And so it was a little chilly, and so she woke up early. Was crying. It was about 5 a.m. And I think she went out to go to the bathroom. I don't think she actually had to go. I think she just wanted to. She was cold, and wanted to snuggle, and so I put her out. And then I went in and sat with her in the living room for a little while. She crawled up on me, like curled up into a ball and fell asleep on my lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she snuggled with me this morning. This morning you were there, Jacob. I laid down because I haven't been feeling well. And she hurt you actually because she saw me lay down and she like jumped over you to get to me and like snuggled up on me hard and fell asleep. I sent you a picture of it.
Oh, that's right. You did.
Actually, yes. The Pitbulls, I guess any short-haired dog, we in the winter end up giving them sweatshirts to sleep in. Everett doesn't like his. But we need to get a giant one for Lola.
Lola
has
has
big, giant no, she has like a blanket.
Yeah. Well,
She
that
needs,
one
like,
that
a sweatshirt.
the one that it always looks like the one they use on horses.
Yeah.
She has one of those. But
Yeah. But I mean a sweatshirt. Like Normagine has a hoodie.
Yeah, it's so cool. Finally, number 5, it says Pitbulls like action. They are a very athletic breed. They make a great workout companions and crave
Clearly
being
not
walked
bulldog Pitbulls.
often. Yeah, I mean she gets
She tries.
pooped out.
She tries.
Yeah.
She's actually
She
very
gives a good
smart.
effort.
So what's interesting is she will like run around with Everett outside with the ball, and
Yeah.
Everett and Normagine, when they're doing it, they like just run back
100
and
miles
forth,
an
back
hour.
and forth,
Yeah.
up
They're
and down the
fast.
yard and around a tree.
Lolo just stand
Back
there
and forth.
waiting.
Lola is smart, and she'll run like once, and then she's all out of breath and realizes like I could just cut him off at the pass, so I'll just stand here and wait for him to run by me, and I'll jump out in front of him, or
Yep.
I'll go backwards and hit him head on. And so she's not big on the
sports.
The sports.
Yeah.
She's big on the sitting and sleeping.
Yeah. But I for the most part I think I agree with that, especially with Everett. It says you can even make your pit bull your running buddy, and I've definitely run before with Everett. And I think he enjoys it. But
Pretty sure it's ran.
You have ran. No, you have run. Oh no, you need to go back. I
You
run.
have ran.
I ran. I have run.
I have ran.
Oh no.
It's I ran.
okay,
It's ran.
this is
I
falling
ran.
off the
I
rails
have
now.
run.
I have ran.
Oh,
Okay,
my God.
let me cut in real quick.
Okay.
I think again the point you made earlier about our neighborhood and having a fair amount of people that aren't really dog savvy and don't have their dogs on leashes.
Oh yeah, we've both been chased by dogs. running in our
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it makes it tough
little
to
dogs, little nippy dogs.
It makes it tough to bring Everett on a run.
Right.
Because I'm afraid of what's going to happen with
Yep,
those
yep.
non-dog savvy people. But I would agree with that last point as well.
All right. Everett's-
Finally, I mean, that was the list. That's a pretty cool article. I agree with most of those. But again, do some research if you are interested in or considering bringing a pit bull into your family. Do some research. There's plenty of pit bulls available. And again, you can check out Patra's Pity Project and Last Hope Canine on Facebook, the two organizations we went through. I do want to mention one of the things I love most about pit bulls is the pit bull smile.
Oh yeah.
Because they have sort of loose jowls a little bit, and when they like to roll around and be upside down. Pit bulls are like to be upside down, lay on their back. and their lips, their jowls sort of fall just with gravity, and they look like they're smiling. And it's the coolest little thing that I really enjoy, the Pitbull smile. Jenni, do you have any final thoughts? Anything else to add?
No, please don't hate us.
But oh my goodness. Jenni's afraid that the whole world is going to think, like literally, because we have listeners all over the place, the whole world is going to think we're the worst parents because our kids play football and we have pit bulls.
Yes, that's true.
Right.
Yes. No, we had one of our children.
As our 11-year-old sits here in still his pads from the game, petting his pit bull.
Today
I
was
love
the
it.
first time in my 4-year career so far that I've got carried off the field.
You didn't get carried off the field.
You didn't
today.
get carried off
But it
the
was
field.
the first time.
You got the wind knocked out of you, and the paramedic had to come over and make
No.
sure you were
So
okay.
okay, so let's segue into that since you both just brought it up. So we've been a football family for how long? Might, peewee, midget. This is our 6th year.
Mhm.
This was the first time, and I'm knocking on all the wood, that the kid injured on the field
Was our kid.
was our kid. Where
Where the play stopped.
there's this
there was an
moment-
injury timeout.
And what always happens is like you're cheering for whatever the play is, or you're reacting to whatever the play is, and then someone notices that a kid has not gotten up. Usually I notice it before anybody else, and I'm always like, that little nugget is hurt, as if anyone's listening to me in the stands. And then then the parents all start going, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? And I said to you, I don't see Jacob. And you don't even know this is Jacob. Dad said, it's Jacob. And he immediately stood up, and the EMT had gone over to see you. And that has never, ever happened in all of our years. And it was scary. But then you were like, your dad came to the game, and he said later he didn't even see you leave. Just all of a sudden you were on the field because you were like Batman, and you stood up, and then you very silently, did you leap over the gate? Was the gate open? Did you run over cheerleaders?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
And then
I bull rushed a 11-year-old cheerleader.
And then you were on the floor. You were on the
I'm
field,
just
which
kidding,
you're not
by the way.
supposed to be on the field. But I guess
Well, I'm
you're
a
a
coach
for
and a
another
board
team,
member. It's fine.
You were out there.
Yeah.
But he was fine. He just got the wind
Yeah.
knocked out of him. But yes,
Yeah.
that was the first
Good
time.
game. Physical game.
And,
Jacob played
and
well
I
today.
said, and internally I was like, if that's his head, we might be done. But
We talked about that before. Everybody has to make their own decisions about
why are you
sports.
looking at me like that? It wasn't your head, so I was good.
He's
You,
fine.
So mad.
you stood up and you were
Yeah.
holding your like stomach, and I was like, yes, it's not his brain.
But you know what? You're a trooper. You did really well. It was hurt. It wasn't injury, right? So
Right,
that's the
he was
difference
back
there. We
in
talked
it
about
in the
that in
next
our
play. Yeah.
sports parenting episode.
But yes, I
but
do.
yeah.
So it's hard for me. I have social anxiety, and
Yeah.
I'm struggling with being okay with the fact that not everybody is going to like me. And it's none of my business if people like me or not, and what they think of me and what they say about me. But it is hard for me to openly say, yes, my kids play football. And yes, I think tackle football is an appropriate sport, and it's okay for it to be in existence. And yes, I do not think it should be outlawed in Massachusetts. And yes,
Neither
also,
should Pitbulls.
Neither should Pitbulls. And I support the breed so much that I have not 1, not 2, but 3. And yes, they all live with me. So I was going to say, we met one of our children's friends, parents, recently, and they came in the house and did the whole like, oh, you have 3 dogs. Are they all Pitbulls?
Yeah.
And so after that, I was saying to him, like, do they hate us? Do they hate us? Are they like, is your friend allowed over anymore because we have 3 Pitbulls? So yes, I struggle with that. But listen,
you know
to
what?
each his own, because I strongly believe that nobody should force their child to play tackle football if their child's not passionate about it. And did you say, yeah, you should?
Yeah.
No.
No, because they're not gonna like it the first year.
Okay, so you're playing lacrosse, right? We're getting sidetracked.
So sidetracked.
Okay. Okay. You shouldn't force a child to play football. Like, you have to be passionate about
Right.
it. And also, if you're not passionate about the pit bull breed, you shouldn't adopt a pit bull.
Exactly. If you're nervous.
If you're nervous, if you're
but
worried
if you
about it.
want to learn more, and here's the thing, things like, campaigns like this, National Pitbull Awareness Month, is all about information.
Right.
Right.
Not meaning like
Exposure.
everyone has to go out and get a pit bull, because it's not the right fit for every family.
Exactly.
But educating yourself is right for every family.
Football's not right for every family. Adopting pit bulls isn't right for every family. And you want to do your research, learn. Again, this is what this month is all about, is to learn about pit bulls and to try to change the negative connotation and change the narrative about pit bulls.
Maybe meet your friends' pit bulls, your neighbors' pit bulls. Instead of walking across, leaving a wide berth when you see one, maybe saying to the owner, like, is it okay if I say hello?
Exactly.
And get down on their level. There's a wonderful lady in town who has a blind pit bull. And so I feel like she's such a great ambassador for the breed, because that dog is so sweet and so gentle. And it's also amazing to see her kind of operate with her blindness. So don't be afraid of dogs like that.
Don't be afraid.
Lean into it.
Yeah.
Don't actually lean into the dog's face, any dog, but lean into that discomfort and fear, and ask questions about it. So I guess that's kind of what our point was here. And also to ramble on endlessly about nonsense.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's okay. That's allowed. I look forward to getting up to go to work tomorrow, putting on my business casual clothing and slipping on my pit bull socks. So I love pit bulls. Here we go. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Anything else, Jacob? No? Okay. All right, everybody. That is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Today's show notes links, you can visit doggingtonpost.com/October Pitbull Awareness Month. You can go to dogster.com and check out their article, National Pitbull Awareness Month and Why It Matters. And check out 5 reasons why pit bulls make great pets on QuiveraRoadAC.com. Please follow us on Facebook, everybody, at Changing Perspectives Podcast, and on Instagram at Changing Perspectives Blog. You can send us an email to changingpodcast@gmail.com. You can also visit our website by going to changingperspectivesblog.com. And while you're there, don't forget to visit the shop to check out all of that Changing Perspectives merchandise. Go ahead and subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode, and we will see you next time. Say bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
Say bye, Everett.
The Changing Perspectives podcast is produced, recorded, and edited by Dizzy Bird Studios. Please visit Dizzy Bird Studios on Facebook, facebook.com/DizzyBirdStudios.